Okay, good evening and welcome to the 2018 St. Tammany Parish Senior High Honor Band concert. No, these guys are not on strike out here. We are doing some natural surround sound to our first piece, which is Resonances 1 by Ron Nelson. And without further ado, let's welcome to the stage our guest conductor, Mr. Paul Freeshoe.
Our next selection is based on American folk songs. The Second American Folk Rhapsody by Claire Grundman was composed in 1959 and dedicated to Manly R. Whitcomb and the Florida State University Band. American folk tunes included are Billy Boy, Skip to My Lou, and Shenandoah.
Okay, but I'd like to thank the parish for having me. I think I did it about 5 years ago, and then before that, and every time I do this honor band, it's really a pleasure. The kids are just so talented, and the biggest part, they're very fine musicians, but what I enjoyed, their rehearsal etiquette was unmatched. It was just absolutely incredible. Kids coming back before the break, ready to go, did not have to tell anyone, let's not talk or anything like that. I mean, it was complete focus. So it tells me what goes on in the classroom around St. Tammany Parish. And I'd like to thank all the band directors for sending these students here, having them audition. Parents, thank you. I know it's a lot of work bringing them back and forth to all the rehearsals and the honor bands and all that. So I appreciate all the work that you guys do in helping out with the band programs. So I hope you enjoyed it. This last piece is I got a lot of favorites, so people hear that all the time. It's one of my favorites. But this next one is really a neat piece, and I hope you enjoy it. I'd like to thank especially Grant Duplessis. He's the band director here at North Shore High School, and he was in charge of all the logistics of putting this on for the last 2 days at North Shore High School. There is many hours of work that he put in, copying the music and getting all the photos set, getting them out to all the directors to give to the kids, and it's just so much work, and he was absolutely so organized and on the ball. So please, where's Grant? There he is. Give him a hand. Yeah, he deserves it. And also thanks to North Shore High School for hosting it. So anyway, thank you guys. We're going to end. I think Mr. Duplessis is going to say a few words. Here you go.
Mr. Freeshoe really covered just about everything that I wanted to say, thanking everybody. But obligatorily, let's just make sure that we cover everybody. The administration here, Mr. Frank Jabbia, principal, and the administration at Pearl River High School for hosting the auditions. They were very helpful in kind of helping us put this together quickly. Ms. Hanson, Supervisor of Fine Arts for St. Tammany Parish Schools. Parents, thank you guys again. I know Mr. Freeshoe told you, but thank you so much. You guys help make these things happen. It's all the behind-the-scenes stuff, making sure that stuff's paid for. They have a ride. They don't forget their things. Thank you. And students, if you guys could give your parents a quick round of applause and thank them. Also, Mr. Freeshoe has just been outstanding to work with. He is outstanding to work with. A little scary that he works here and hears the band rehearsing, walks by the band room, and I know that he's listening, but that's a huge compliment to him. He knows so much. He's an outstanding teacher. He was still teaching your children, the last few minutes before this concert started, and they got so much out of just those few minutes about how to perform and how to be confident in themselves. It's just such a pleasure to watch them. And you guys, your children have been in outstanding hands with him the last 2 days. So thank you to Mr. Freeshoe. Lastly, I would just like to say this is such an outstanding program and display of the arts in St. Tammany Parish Schools. Let's keep up the good work, guys. Keep supporting the arts programs in your schools. You may have your last child is a senior and they're about to graduate. Put out good words to other people, family, friends, neighbors about the music programs, the arts programs in general in schools in St. Tammany Parish. They're going great. They're outstanding, and let's keep up the great work about these things. Thank you, guys.
Trail of Tears is a tone poem for wind band that describes the 150th anniversary of when federal troops rounded up many members of the 5 civilized Indian tribes who were living in the southeastern United States: the Cherokees, Choctaws, Creeks, Chickasaws, and Seminoles. Despite a landmark decision rendered by the legendary Supreme Court Justice John Marshall stating that the members of these tribes could not be moved off their sovereign lands because of a prior treaty granting them this territory, Troops were ordered to move all of these Native Americans by forced march in the dead of winter over 1,500 arduous miles to what was then known as Indian Territory, now the eastern portion of the state of Oklahoma. The music opens with solo flute to recall the non-aggressive nature of the 5 civilized tribes who simply wished to be left alone and allowed to live in peace on their ancestral hunting grounds. The faster section portrays the strife between the Indians and the encroaching settlers and builds to the ultimate tragic battle scenes of 1838 when the United States Army used the cavalry to defeat the Indians. The dramatic last scene depicts the agony of the march itself and includes the recitation of a mournful poem in the Cherokee language by members of the ensemble. Dee Shkonk, Juni Yahusa, meaning, let us mourn those who have died. Dee Shkonk, Ayo Hist, let us mourn those who are dying. Dee Shkonk, Dana Noti, let us mourn those who must endure. The work concludes with a final statement of triumph for these Native Americans who survived the Trail of Tears and have managed to live and prosper in spite of all odds, and who today stand with pride and great honor as an important and integral part of our nation.
you.